Have you ever noticed how British old money seems to escape to the countryside, especially on the weekends? The Queen heads to Balmoral. Prince Charles lives in the countryside in Gloucester, not too far away from me, I may add. And I believe Princess Anne lives in Gloucester as well. And there is a reason for that.
Known London is basically the route between great institutions, and they haven't really changed since the 18th century. Well, not much. It's the City, the West End, and SW1, 3, 5, 7, 10, and 11, which is where everyone tends to live. Lots of later Victorian and Edwardian London doesn't really exist. Sloane gentrification isn't the same as trendy intelligentsia gentrification. The problem areas are in the north. You have friends there, but you don't really understand the north. The established arty intelligentsia areas, Islington, Highgate and Hampstead. Those nice old houses can have such terrible lefties like Michael Foot, as well as media types within. St John's Wood is a problem too. But you feel totally at home at Holland Park because it's logical westward move from Kensington, as Battersea is a logical move from Chelsea. There are outposts of empire in Kew, Barnes, Clapham, Kilburn and Kennington. Furious young political swat Tory wet Sloanes live there. They're almost off the rails. Their wives have degrees and do major jobs.
If you've been following this channel over the last few weeks, you know that we are going through the official Sloane Ranger Handbook. And again, if you didn't see the previous videos, I'm going to mention it here right now. This book is very not PC. But as we've been discussing all things old money here on this channel, I thought we could look at the British approach to things. Sloane Britain is heavily weighted in the South and the West. Perhaps that's why things tend to be a little bit more expensive in this part of the country. And with the whole escaping to the countryside thing, I'm thinking that this is where the whole equestrian vibe is getting associated with old money. The West Country has its enclaves. However, Sloanes will go anywhere in the world where there is fresh air and where there is big houses. But the caveat is there has to be fast trains to London. Sloanes also understand Scotland, and parts of Edinburgh are very Sloane. Now I'm going to show you the map that they have in this book showing Rangerland. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of it. However, as I mentioned, it's very not PC. I'm going to have you press pause and you can take a closer look at this map and what it says, and then you can assess and see how Sloane Rangers view the world. What did you think? Quite endearing indeed. After reading this book, I can truly see why many people get quite offended at the term old money or us diving deep onto the topic. Yes, it could be classist. Yes, it can be elitist. But that wasn't my objective or intention with my previous series on the old money book. But I do think that we can see parts of culture, parts of a society, and pick the best bits from it and implement them to our lives. And even though this book, there is so much of it that I cannot get on board with, I do think that there's parts of it that is going to allow us to understand old money and understand maybe how to make our life better in some ways, and then we can discard the rest of it to the side. Now, as I mentioned, this book is quite difficult to track down. However, if you do find a copy, I would be so honored if you join along with me. You can press the subscribe button and you will see all of the videos that I put out when we dive deeper into this book, the Sloane Ranger Handbook, the first guide to what really matters in life. Thank you for watching.